Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today I want to show you a game between Hikaru Nakamura and Magnus Carlsen from the 23 of November in 2019. This is a Kolkata Rapid and Blitz tournament and this is a round 4 and these gentlemen are against each other now in the rapid section. So let's go into the match and see what they have planned for this match. Yes. So Hikaru Nakamura is with the black pieces and Magnus Carlsen is with the white pieces. And Magnus opens with the e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, captures, and knight to f6. So this is standard opening with four knights variation. King English opening, d3, and Nakamura castles, pushing c3, d6, h3, h6, and rook to e1. Nakamura pushes a6 pawn, and Magnus takes a4, a5, so not letting each other to push these pawns further in the queen side. Knight b to d2, just getting into better position with the knight, and bishop to e6, getting out of the way. This bishop is attack and instead going for the knight, so knight have to go back into a7 and d4, pushing the mid and attacking this bishop now. Knight captures b5, captures, and knight goes back to a7. b3, just defending and also developing these squares for the bishop and queen for the later use. And rook to a8, captures d6, queen captures, and bishop to a3, attacking the queen, and it's nicely covered by this rook now, so queen has to move. Or maybe Nakamura has a different idea and he pushes instead this pawn, and it's totally okay. Knight to c4, attacking the queen again, and bishop is still attacking the knight, but okay. Queen captures queen in the d1, and rook captures d1, captures, bishop captures the knight, and pawn captures c4. So Magnus has now ruined his pawn structure a little bit, and it's bishop and knight against the two knights. So price of the ruining the pawn structure, Magnus has now bishop instead of one bishop and one knight against two knights. Yes. So knight goes to h4. Just idea behind is to push this f3 pawn and freeing the space for the pawn to just come over here in the e4. And rook goes to d8, f3, completing the pawn structure now, and g6, pushing the pawn, g3, knight to h5, attacking the pawn now, so king goes to defend, f2, knight to c6, bishop to c1, and king to g7, bishop to e3, rook captures, and rook goes to d8, and it's war for this nice open file here. But Magnus goes back with his rook to b1 and rook to b8, defending this pawn here since it's not in defended yet, and knight to g2, knight to f6, king to e2, knight to e7, freeing this space for this pawn, and okay, let's see what happens. Bishop to f2, knight to d6, attacking this pawn here, and knight goes into defense, e3. Knight back to e7, knight to d5, captures, captures. So Magnus has now like fixed his pawn structure, and it's 7 pawns against 7 pawns. But Magnus has the bishop and Nakamura has the knight. Rook to b7. Magnus developing his king at d3 and f5. The black king is still here behind all these pawns. So Magnus has a lot more active this king. Lot of active king, much more active king. So Magnus completes his pawn structure here now, pushing with the c4. Captures, captures. And rook goes to attack this bishop now, since it's not covered by the king anymore. But Magnus instead goes and pushes this, get this weak pawn here, while same time attacking this knight and leaving the bishop for the Nakamura now. Of course Nakamura picks it, f2, and capture the knight at the d6. And now Magnus has better pawn structure, and these guys are just waiting for to be picked. But Nakamura has this opportunity to make a check for the white king at least once. But let's see what Magnus has in his mind. Rook with check to f3, king goes e2, attacking the rook, and rook goes c3, attacking the pawn here. And Magnus goes to e6, attacking the weak pawn here. Captures, captures, and Magnus has made himself for this fast pawn, so it will be marching forward in the future. And Nakamura captures the pawn at a4 and making for himself also a fast pawn, but this pawn is faster, and it has this other pawn to help it. Magnus makes a check at a7 with his rook, and king goes f6. Pawn pushes d6, helping the rook now, and rook to d4, attacking the pawn, and d7, just pushing forward with this. So idea behind, and it was this position actually. Nakamura resigned the game, since Magnus is winning this completely. If he picks up the he can go with like this. He goes check. Actually, he cannot pick this rook yet, since it would be like this, and it's completely winning game for the white, since this cannot be like, he cannot defend this with the white black anymore. So this was it. Nice game by the Magnus Carlsen, and like the upload I made before of Magnus game, he usually does this and this structure and picks up the weak pawns and starts pushing his fast pawns into the victory. And here are the standings now of this tournament. Like you see, Magnus is in the lead with the 4 wins and 0 losses, and Nakamura is in the second place now with 3.5 points. So this is the rapid section, and let's see how this tournament finishes in the later. But thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.